Hi everyone, welcome back to my Beach Angel Tarot Shop. I am here to do a mystery reading for September, and I'm going to do it with the red Leaf Lenormand. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of an overhead. I want to see how this works. I've been having this guidance to do, to get a stand and do like things from overhead so we get a different view of the reading. So I'm going to do that in this moment, and we're going to allow Spirit to bring any messages forth for September that it likes with this energy of a mystery reading. Actually, I want to get I'm being guided to do a overview or like an overall energy with a angel deck. So I'm going to do that in this moment. I'm going to use this deck to do it. This is Adoring Virtue deck. So I'm going to get a message for everyone with this deck for an overview for the September mystery. So we're going to see what comes. Undercurrent is angel therapy. Archangel Raphael, give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burden. So in the undercurrent, angels are working very hard on whatever situation comes out here, whatever message comes out, and they're helping us in the month of September with this mystery reading. And it's going to be about relationship. Well, it's kind of hard for me because I'm not used to this setup, but it's for relationship harmony. Archangel Raguel, we angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are now being resolved. So we have the energy of there is angel therapy. Angels are working very hard with relationship harmony. Now, this can be, of course, romantic. This can be, with family, with friends, any relationship. Overall, relationship harmony. And it's kind of reminding me of my new full moon. I want to keep saying new moon. My new moon in Pisces reading, where we had a lot of emotional energies coming into more of a balance, into more of a completed, mature energy to be shared with each other. And so, again, this can be romantical, this can be divine partnerships, this can be friends, family. They're all, meant to be in a good harmony. And so the angels are working very hard right now in this moment, or in the month of September specifically, for that relationship energy to come into balance, to come into harmony, and to conflicts to be resolved. All the burdens and the conflicts, all that type of energy to be resolved. This can even be with family and that type of energy as well. So any relationship that's out of balance or there are conflicts, the angels are helping work on that energy. So I'm going to do this reading. I'm just going to kind of push that up there. Like I said, I'm going to do this, oh my heavens, the mystery. This is going to be the mystery reading for September. And I'm going to do a Celtic cross. So we're going to ask for, this is the overall energy. This can be the base energy, but I'm going to pull another card for the base energy for September. I'm just going to shuffle and then cut the deck, and then we're going to get started. So the first card is going to be the base energy, the heart of the matter, so to speak, of what's going on. We have Elephant, which I saw when I was shuffling. So Elephant for me is very much about family. So for some, this can be in regards to your family. Elephant, I'm going to hold it up because I don't know if we can see it so clearly from as far. But this can also be the energy of Ganesh and road opening. And with these two cards, I definitely feel that Ganesh is here. Some people say Ganesha is here trying to help us with any strategizing. You can see he's on like a checkerboard type of border here. So any strategizing to bring relationship into harmony. But elephants are very much tribal. They stick together, and they're very much about family. They take care of their elders, and they take care of the older ones take care of the younger ones, and they all kind of stick together throughout the lifetime, right? So they're very much tribe. They're very much about family. So they're helping with this type of energy, whether that be in romantical again or family. But I definitely feel road opening. I feel Ganesh here trying to help with this energy here. So crossing this energy for, I always like to say the more positive, and we have mice. So mice are usually a card and it's funny because they're laughing. I think elephants, and they're like, yeah, elephants are afraid of mice. So it's funny that this is crossing this in a positive position. So it's almost comical. I feel like an energy of this being almost comical. It's like the problems are so out of proportion. They're saying the problems are so out of proportion in a certain situation. Maybe this is for someone specific. Because I know when we're in problems, or we're in conflict that seems pretty big, right? It seems like the elephant, but there is maybe one person seeing it like it's really big and another person seeing it like it's really small, but it's so out of proportion, it's almost funny, because when you see an elephant that's afraid of a mouse, you know, it's kind of like, you know, but it's real to them, you know, that fear is really real to them. But it's kind of coming up that way. So they're going to put things in proportion, right? They're going to bring it back into proportion. They're going to show you that this fear is way out of proportion to the size of, you know, the real true problem. That's kind of funny. So the next one is the foundation and the support that's being given besides this here. And we have stork. Whoop. So stork restores balance. You can see the black and the white here. So they're bringing out a balance. But this also indicates for me mothering energy. This indicates with mother energy, empress energy, new life, fertility, stability, that type of energy they're supporting with. Also, this can mean moving. So for some, that if you need to move or travel as a result of to bring this into a conflict resolution, they're going to help with that moving. If you need to take a trip or a little literal traveling, they're going to help you do that. But outside of that, as an energy, they're going to help move the energy into a more nurturing, more stable, more balanced energy. This is all about migration. So they're going to move things in the right direction, right? So the recent past in regards to this, and we have bouquet. 9. So 9s are endings. I was really drawn to that one for the number specifically. The bouquet is an energy for me that talks about being open, being inviting. So there could have been, in regards to this situation that is out of balance, which we can actually see here, there may have been something that you were invited to do and you weren't able to do it because the energies, there was some sort of irrational fear surrounding it, or an irrational fear came up. But the openness and the invitingness may have came to an end, because 9s are very much about endings, and they're very much about individuality, off on our own. It feels very like the hermit card to me. So it may be that a invitation or an openness in regards to a relationship kind of ended, so to speak, or came into self. Somebody withdrew is the word. Somebody went inward, somebody withdrew their invitation, their energy, because it feels like it's kind of going both ways. So maybe something was extended and then there was an irrational fear came up in regards to it. For some, this may be because you had to move, or you may had to take more action than you were able to take, and then the other person or you kind of just went inward and retracted. It feels like you just kind of went into hermit mode. So that is the message for the recent past. Angel's message for everyone regarding this, and it is child, which is interesting because sometimes the above and the below kind of go together, and they do here in the aspect that child and stork, this is mother, this is empress, and they bring new life. So this stork is going to migrate this energy. It's going to bring a change in. And for some, again, this is going to mean you're moving, literally moving or traveling. You are, your loved one is, but it's going to usher in a new energy. It's going to bring in the newness of the child energy. So there is new life coming in. And I also feel a quietness and a comfort here. This child is now calmed and comforted, where it could have been part of this issue. The issue could have came from an inner child conflict with maternal energy, right? That caused an irrational fear that started with family patterns in childhood. Something that kind of, it makes them react perhaps in an irrational way, right? It's almost like, what? You know, it's kind of funny, you know, to some people from their perspective perhaps, but they're saying now this child is calmed and they're more relaxed, and this is a newness about this person's energy coming in. So the future is commitment, is ring. And we put it with the past of the bouquet. We see the 2 is here, the partnership. There is a 5 here with the change. There's a change in a partnership that is a 7 that is now spiritual. It's a spiritual connection, comes back into totality, right? So a spiritual connection is now in its whole connection. This withdrawal of an invitation is now a open invitation again, and that partnership, there is a change of energies that we're seeing in this partnership that brings it into the 7. The 25 is 7, and it brings it more into the spiritual connection that it truly is. But what was out of balance was the irrational fears that triggered the inner child, because of a pattern from the family, from the familiar energies from the childhood. You can kind of see how it's playing out here. So the future is things coming back into balance and coming back into the spiritual connection that it's meant to be. Doesn't mean somebody's going to get engaged or married here. But I just feel this spiritual connection becomes whole again, where it went open and then closed. It feels like, you know how a flower opens and closes? It came out and then it went back in. So now it's going to be more solid. This is now in the form of a ring, not a flower that opens and closes. This is a solid circle. The next one is do this one for yourself. So do this for you. And it's a bridge. Kind of bridge over troubled waters. You ever hear that song? That's what came to mind. Bridge over troubled waters. Allow for the new to come in. I'm really drawn to the 1 on this card. So 4 is you have the stability. You have what it takes to bring in the new, to allow the new to come in. Because this is 4, and that 4 is kind of represented here. This new energy is coming in, and the 1 would represent you and allowing that. So allow the connection. Don't burn bridges, right? Bridge over troubled water. Don't burn bridges. Allow that new energy in. You have the stability to do so. You have the 4 corners, the stable energy to bring that in, is what they're saying. Spirit message. The next one is a spirit message for everyone, and it is mirror. So it's kind of, again, I get like a chuckle almost, because it's feels like it's got to do with this to me. And it's talking about things mirroring. The spiritual message is that there's a mirror here. So don't feel like, you know, you can judge, because if you don't see yourself in this situation, then you're judgy. And I feel like Spirit is saying, see yourself in this situation, because you're most certainly here. It's not just looking at the other person. They want you to really take a look and see your reflection in this situation. They're going like this. It's making a cross, but you're here in what happened here, and you may be looking at it like, wow, did they overreact? Wow, was that an irrational fear? Wow, they did this, they did that. But they're saying, no, mirror, you're here. You're here. You did the same thing. Next one is hope or fear, and it's anchor. Hopes and fears. So I can usually see this as going both ways. You fear becoming stagnant. You fear this not moving forward. You fear heaviness. Your hope is it becomes solid. It becomes stable. You fear a change and you hope for a change. The 3 talks about things coming together. So you fear it coming together. You fear it going apart. It's like, I can live with you. I can't live without you. You know, I can live with you or I can't live without you. And you know how that goes. The saying goes, you know, one way or the other. So you fear the heaviness, but you fear the stagnation. But then you also hope for stability, right? So this is kind of going both ways. And 8 is all about infinity and abundance. So your hope is your fear in some aspect. Sometimes these go one way or the other, but for me, this one feels like it can go, you know, it's going kind of both ways. It's like praying for something that when it comes in, you're like, oh my God. Outcome right now. And remember, this is September. And it is coffin. I'm going to pull a few here to see. But coffins are, again, endings. Ending of this fear, they're saying. Because this is number 8. 35 is 8. So there is an ending taking place, no doubt. There's an end to this irrational fear, right? Because we saw things in the future coming into place. So it's not like this is going to end, but there is an ending of the fear and a hope in a way. It's the end of the hoping. It's the end of the longing. And it's the end of the unknown, right? because of the unknownness of the coffin. I'm going to pull another one here and see. And we have man. So a man, and man ends in some way, but it's talking about in the aspect of a masculine energy. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the man. Like say you're a woman watching this and we're talking about your man. Your man is not dying. But there's a masculine energy that is transitioning with the coffin. This talks about endings, it talks about blockages, but remember, they're coming back to the elephant in regards to Ganesh. So there is a blockage, and we can see the coffin also as a block. So there is a blockage in regards to a man that's ending. There's something transforming around him that can be rather scary, and it's connected to these fears, right? And I'm going to pull one more because he's looking that way. I want to see where he's looking, and it's fox. So that is also another symbol of masculine energy. But it's also a symbol of cunning energy, sneaky energy. It can be manipulative energy. So for some masculine energies, that can be transforming, that can be changing. Having that feeling of that's the only way you can get your needs met, that you have to be in that type of energy. This can also represent work. So for some, this can be that their work is transitioning or there's big changes around work, which helps bring this back into balance. There are blockages around masculine energy. And remember that masculine energy is also within the feminine. So there is a balancing coming, but it is corrected around the masculine energy. And the masculine takes action, right? It's the yang energy. So there's some things transforming around that in regards to that masculine actional energy that's taking place within the man themselves and or within yourself as a woman, if you're a woman watching this video. So that is very, very interesting. I want to see the undercurrent. Undercurrent is bear, and the bear represents protection. It represents strength. And it can also represent parents and boss type of energy. But I definitely see it here as talking about spiritual protection coming up in the undercurrent. So I hope everyone has enjoyed this reading. It is really rather interesting. I could probably go a lot deeper with the numbers and some things I'm seeing, but I'm going to let it go at that right now. If you'd like your own private reading, you can click the link below and be taken to my shop for that. But just know that there is going to be, the angels are working on bringing balance and restoring balance into a relationship that is, but remember, there's been some irrational fears, but remember not to judge because you see yourself in this situation because you're certainly here as well. So angel blessings to everyone. Oceans of love.